Good morning, guys. A little different setting today. I'm like in the industrial zone downtown, but that's okay. We have plans. So the truck is in the shop this morning getting an oil change and tire swap over, and I've got 2 hours to kill. So we walked a little park downtown here, did some photos before, and there were turn of the century stone foundations in there. So we are going to take the detector and head back and see what kind of history we can find. Now, it's always a bit of a danger doing that because it was donated land to the city. It's not really any kind of protected park or anything, but it's a very busy place, and I'm sure we will meet somebody in there who's going to give us a hard time about detecting. But we're going to do it anyway because we're not doing anything wrong, and I want to see what history we find. So let's do it.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Look at this old girl. That thing's seen some work in its day. You know, these videos are about history. There's history right there. Oh wow, yeah. D6. Well, old girl, looks like it's been sitting a while. Maybe somebody will get you working again. So unfortunately, as I've showed you guys before, whenever you're dealing with people and detecting, you know, sidewalk strips, curb strips, it always ends in a fight, those videos. People think, oh, we own this part of the city. They don't. The city owns the curb strips, and there are no bylaws here where we live for metal detecting. And yet people still feel that they can tell others, you know, you can't dig there, you can't do this, you can't do that. And it always ends up in a fight. And I'm a little worried that today we'll end up in the same kind of boat because, actually this might be to our benefit. There's a sign here. I'll flip around and show you guys. Closed due to replacement of boardwalks. Well, that's actually a good thing for us. It means there'll be nobody in here, and I'm gonna take a chance. We're just gonna go. I don't care about boardwalks being complete or not. I'll get wet feet, whatever. And maybe that's a good thing. There'll be nobody in here to hound us and bother us. So I've got 2 hours to kill, so this was the plan. We're doing it. Yeah, so far so good. Looks good. Nobody's in here. Here's the first area where there's a stone foundation. Well, there's the first 4 holes. Junk. And not even really that old. Maybe back to the 70s. Super noisy in here because of the industrial section of town. We've got a helicopter flying around up here. I don't know why. Machines backing up down here in the swamp. I don't know. And a surprising amount of modern junk. Like, there are signals everywhere. I just assumed that with the old rock foundations that were in here and this land having been donated before 1920, that it would be cleaner than this, but it's not. It's pretty trashy. Let's carry on and see if we can find anything older. And as always the case in modern times when we're along the edge of the city here, I've found a crime scene. At the very least, a crime against nature. So we got the old strip of condoms here. Somebody's Crocs. Steri cups. I don't know what this paraphernalia is over here. A lot of it. And then an incriminating white powder. At least we didn't find the guy that belongs to the Crocs. You know, that is one of my modern day fears in here, is you never know with these guys. But like I say, I carry my shovel and I'm not afraid to use it. Oh, that signal is screaming in my ear. Again, not that old. Trickery. That was ringing up solid like a silver coin, but it's just an old nail. Oh my God, it just keeps getting louder and louder in here. Now there's a train going by right there. There's an old 22 casing. Modern copper wire sticking out of the ground here. I don't know what that's from. So you can see the old stones they moved here, but it's just getting worse in terms of modern junk in here. There's so much of it. For a conservation area, this is one of the dirtiest places I've detected. Short of a school playground, this is, for woods, this is terrible. Man, I literally can't go 2 feet without getting a signal. It's some kind of modern trash. So I just came across the second entrance into the protected woods here, and they do have a gate up saying keep out on both the entrances. So we'll probably get yelled at if we were in here and got caught. So I'm thinking about just moving on because it's so dirty anyway. But while I'm doing that, I'm also thinking about the nonsensical time of year that they're replacing boardwalks. It makes no sense, guys. We're fall, we're damp, we're wet. What comes after fall? Winter, which is even worse, right? Why would you put out new boardwalks on this whole system so that they get a full year of rot in before next spring? You know, why wouldn't you do this in the spring? Also, this is the most beautiful time of year that people want to be in these woods and see the colors and the color change, fall, and this is closed until the end of October. Makes no sense. Whoever comes up with this stuff, there's zero brain power put into this. I don't understand. Why wouldn't you let folks continue to use the system that's here now for this fall? It's not getting any worse. And I walked the boardwalk to get in here, guys. There's nothing wrong. It's still walkable. It's not tripping hazard. It's not rotten, right? It makes no sense. Okay, I understand you need to replace it, but why wouldn't you wait until the beginning of the next drier season when you would put it all in and then people enjoy it all summer? Why put it out here and let it weather for 8 months when nobody can use it? It makes no sense. Well, I'm too much of a rule follower, guys. Because the gates are here, I think I'm going to bugger off because there's no way that I could say, well, I didn't see the sign, right? They've got gates on all the entrances. So let's leave here. And this portion of town here in front of me, I've never even walked through. I don't know what's around here. There is the railroad right here with some old buildings. Maybe we could detect right here. So I'm not sure. This must have been some kind of supply building or something for the railroad. Got signs on it saying that it's got 24-hour surveillance. It's pretty graffitied up. Oh, don't tell me this old beauty's free. Sitting outside in the weather. Look at that. My color too. So there are some curb strips here, but they don't look very promising. And you gotta know if you're in an old enough section of town. So we're actually heading towards the older areas now. There's a school here beside me, but I think it was like from the 70s. It's shut down. And I'm not even sure if they're using the building. So it might be kind of cool to do that schoolyard, but I don't know if somebody owns it or... So we've just detected out that they are using the building because I just saw the mail guys going and delivering mail at the front. So somebody's bought it and they're using the schoolyard for something. So we'll stay out of there, we'll keep moving. But look at this. Here's something I have never noticed. There's a little laneway in here. It's like a public access. Looks like somebody's moved their garden to the outside which is odd. Again, this is what I was talking about earlier, where people are like, you know, we own this, but if this is a thoroughfare, then there's at least 15 feet here of public access. Kind of a bummer, just walking around with no objective in mind, looking for somewhere. I mean, we could detect this, but I know it's going to lead to an argument, so we won't bother. We'll just keep moving. So this says road closed, but where we just came down, there's no other exit, so we're going to keep going through here. I did just see a nice older fellow out there trimming the tree in his yard, and so I was asking him, you know, where does this come out? And so he was chatting it up with me a little bit. He said the same thing about the forest there being closed for the boardwalks. You know, anytime government gets their hands on stuff, they're gonna mess it up. And I'm like, yep, I agree. Okay, so the people that I heard down at the creek is that batch of daycare kids there. I heard one of them yell, "Caterpillar!" So they're out exploring, which is awesome. We'll go this way so we don't have to interrupt their caterpillar hunt. Okay, along the edge of the river here, first find. That's kind of a cool one. It's a Winchester casing, a 40 Smith & Wesson. Well, lots of signals down here anyway. Ha! That brought me back to 1982. An old floppy disk. I wonder what was on that one. Well, a nail and some kind of wheel hub. Well, that's ironic. There's a War Amps key tag, which the guy lost, but no keys with it. And an old bolt. I know there's potential for old stuff down here along the creek, and we've got some proof here. It's an old brass piece. I'm assuming it's got something to do with a cap for plumbing or something. I'm not sure, okay? But there's writing on the inside. Trisure, registered trademark, made in Canada. Trisure products, 1933. Use monkey wrench to remove. So 1933. So there is the potential here along the creek for older stuff. Oh no, I didn't bring the spare battery for the Legend. Oh, it's not even showing any bars on here. It's showing 0. It's still working though. Look at that, no bars on that battery up there. But it's still working. We're on borrowed time. Let's get digging here while we can. Well, I guess this is going to be our last hole, guys, because of this sad iron. The machine turned itself off. We are out of juice. But I was getting a solid 41 signal here in this hole, which may be a coin. Okay, so we've got it now. What? No! Solid 41? What's going on? There must be something else in that hole. Hold on. Nope, that was it. So I guess we can say that with its dying breath, the Legend got it wrong on that final item. It probably didn't have enough power left to properly ID it and just said, "Good luck, Gary," and then it died. Alright, I'm going to head back and get the truck, and unfortunately, that's it for today. We're out of juice, we're out of time. That's it. We'll catch you in the next adventure.